So today, what we're really talking about, Common Core, it's F for functions, IF for interpreting functions, and it's like 7a, and it says graph, linear, which means straight lines, linear functions, and show intercepts. All right. So, let's take a look at this. So from the graph, find the following. The x-intercept, here's the x-axis, right? So the x-intercept must be right there, okay? It's got to be the x-intercept. Looks like it's probably at about -1.5, maybe. We could find out exactly what it is if we knew the equation. So the x-intercept's right about there. I'm going to guess at -1.5. So -1.5 comma 0. 0 because it has a height of 0 at the x-intercept. The y-intercept, right there, and that's at 0, 1, okay? Now the equation line. So the equation line looks to me as if it goes up 2 over 3. So if I want the equation line, I'm going to write the y equals mx plus b, because that is really, intercept, slope-intercept form. And I just need to know what the slope is. I'm going to walk up 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. Looks like it's up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3 all the way. So the slope is 2 over 3x plus its y-intercept, which is at 1 plus 1. Okay, there's my answer. Y equals 2/3 x plus 1. We've done this. This is just a review, stuff you know. That's pretty easy. Okay, now example 2. Find the equation line if a equals 3, -2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There's a. And b is -1, 2. And there's b, right? We should go ahead and connect the lines. Looks like it's down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. So the slope looks like it's down 1 over 1. I just walked it, right? Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over. And the y-intercept is right there at +1, right? So again, if I need the equation line, let's just go y equals my mx plus b. So in this case, I'd go my y equals -1 over 1x plus 1. Easy, right? We've done this before. Now example 3. Bummer. Can't graph it. It'd be so nice if we could just graph it and get the line from the graph. But this one is not going to be a nice graph. So we're going to actually have to use some formulas. So first of all, let's find the slope first. So first thing I'm going to do is find the slope. Well, the slope formula, that's my y2 minus my y1 over x2 minus x1, right? We learned that in algebra. And I do have most of the formulas in the room, so right above the board is the slope formula. So you don't have to necessarily memorize it. Most of the formulas are in here somewhere if you look around. The only one I don't have is the quadratic formula. But, I used to have it and it just fell down. Anyway, let's find the slope. So how does this formula work? Well, every point has an x and a y value. Every point. If I call this the first point, then that would be x1, y1. Every point has an x and a y value, but if I call that my second point, then that's x2, y2, right? So if I use my formula, let's see, I'm going to go y2, which would be my 1.8, minus y1, which would be a -2.3, all divided by x2, which would be a 6.5, subtract x1, which is a 4.1. All right, decimals. Okay, I can handle that because I have a calculator. I don't mind that. Double negative, let's make that a plus. So 1.8 plus 2.3. So that's a 4.1 over, let's see, 6.5 subtract 4.1. I get a 2.4. Not a very nice number, but it's okay. Let's just divide it and get a decimal. Okay, what is 4.1 divided by 2.4 equals about a 1.7083333, but we'll round it. We'll round it to probably just about 1.7, all right? So 1.7 is good enough for me. So the slope is going to be approximately equal to 1.7. All right, now I want to show you the new formula. Okay, I like the point slope formula. I have a point and I have a slope. Okay, so I'm going to use the point slope formula. That is the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, I want to use that one. I'll show you how it works. So if it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, I need an x and a y, so the y here and the x here are going to stay x and y because I need an x and y variable, right? But the y1 is my negative 2.3 and the x1 is my 4.1. My slope I already know is 1.7, so I put things in where they belong and I just simplify it. That's all I do. So if I go y minus a negative 2.3 equals my m, which is my 1.7 times my x minus x1, which is a 4.1. Okay, it's a little different than what you guys have done before. You normally have done the y equals mx plus b. This one actually is, I think I'm going to try and talk you into this formula. So double negative, right? Make that plus. So I distribute that times that and that times that. Of y plus 2.3 equals, let's see, a 1.7x minus calculator time. Okay, 1.7 times 4.1, and I get an answer of about 6.97. And I'm just going to go minus 2.3, minus 2.3, and I get y equals a 1.7x minus, let's see, minus 2.3, must be about a 4.67. No, that's not right. I'll do that again. That can't be right. Negative 6.97 subtract 2.3. How about a negative 9.27? Negative 9.27. All right? So what I like about the point slope formula is that after you put everything where it belongs, you just simplify it. You just simplify it and get the answer. And that's all I did. Easy. Thumbs up. Sideways. Down. We're good. Okay. Most of them are up. Okay. Example 4. So from the chart, find the equation line using the point slope formula. Okay. So if we're going to use the chart, before we graph it, we need 2 points. All right. So I'm going to pick probably the most convenient points. Yeah, Will?
Why would you use that formula?
I like the point slope formula, okay? I like, and of course you guys are used to the y equals mx plus b, aren't you? And that will work. I like this one because after you put things in, as you simplify it, you get straight to the answer. It just simplifies into the answer. You don't have to substitute back in b, okay? You don't have to use this formula. You can go and use y equals mx plus b, but I'm going to use this thing practically all the time. So you may as well get used to it, right? Yeah. Okay, so from the chart, so I need 2 points. I can pick any two, but I probably would pick this one because there's a 0, right? And maybe this one because it doesn't have any decimals. How's that sound? Make it sounds like a smart choice. So that could be my x1. So if my 2 points I could use, then I could use a negative 1, 1, and a 3, 0. Okay? Now, let's find the slope first. So let's find the slope. M is equal to, all right, x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So the slope formula is the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So I'm going to go 0 minus 1, y2 minus y1 over 3 minus negative 1, x2 minus x1, okay? How am I doing? So I just used the slope formula, that's all. That'll simplify into a negative 1 over 4, won't it? Because that's a double negative there. So that's my slope. Okay, now, point slope formula. So let's write it down. That's my y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, okay? Now, I could use either, but why don't I pick the easier? So you could use either point. You can. It doesn't really matter which point you use. But why not use the 3, 0? Because I like the 0, okay? So that's my y, let's use this, my x1, y1. So I'll go y minus 0 equals my slope, negative 1/4 times x minus 3. So I plugged in the 1/4 for the m. I put the 0 in for the y. Hi, Trinity. Spell your number. Okay, great. And I put the 3 in for the x, okay? So I'm just going to simplify. Y minus 0 is just y, right? And I get a negative 1/4 x plus 3/4. How am I doing? And that's it. I'm done. Thank you. Now let's graph it. Well, that's easy. So there's several ways to graph it. Maybe the easiest way to graph it is to graph a couple of points, right? That's what I think. If I were to graph this thing, why not do it the easy way? So I'll just graph negative 1, 1, 3, 0, and draw my line. I can. Thank you. So I just graphed my easiest points, negative 1, 1, and 3, 0. So instead of have to graph it, let's just graph 2 easy points, and then just draw my line. Pretty easy? I mean, this is pretty much a review of algebra, right? Are you ready? Turn the page. We're good. Avi, you with me? Okay. Here we go. Okay, the back side. Now, write the equation line parallel to 1.5x plus 6 through 5, 4. Okay? So, if we need the equation of line, we have a point and we have a slope. Again, I'm going to use the point-slope formula. I'm going to use the point-slope formula. So let's start right off with y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So I have a point, 4, 5. I'll put the 4 in for the x. I'll put the 5 in for the y. I'll put the 4 in for the x. I'll put the 5 in for the y. And I'll put the 1.5 in for the m, because if they're parallel, they have the same slope. So, all right, I'll go y minus, let's see, the y value is 5, right? x1, y1 equals m, which is my 1.5. And I'm going to use that slope because they're parallel, right? Same slope because they're parallel. X minus my x1, which is my 4, okay? So all I did was I took my slope, if they're parallel, same slope, put that in for m, and I have my point, 4, 5. Yeah, Will?
Is m just a slope?
M is just a slope, yes. Yep, good question. So that times that, I'll have a y minus 5 equals a 1.5x. Oh, 1.5 times 4, is that 6? Probably. 1.5 times 4 is, yep, 6. Plus 5. Plus 5, y is equal to 1.5x minus 1. Let's graph it. Negative 1. 1.5, same thing as 3/2, right? Up 1, 2, 3 over 2. Up 1, 2, 3 over 2. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does. It goes through 5, 4, or 4, 5, doesn't it? Oops, you can't see that. Sorry, my bad. Keep me honest. Make sure it's on the paper. Alyssa, will you tell me if I'm off the paper? Will you? Will you tell me if I'm way off the screen? Okay. Last one. Perpendicular. So the slope here. This slope is 1.5. Okay. As a fraction, that number is also the same thing as 3 over 2. You agree with that? Say, sure, I get that. 1.5, 3 over 2, right? So if I want a perpendicular slope to this, my perpendicular slope is negative 2/3. Okay, perpendicular. Flipped it, and I changed the sign, okay? Now, I've got a point and I have a slope. I've got a point, a slope, I have a point and a slope. I have a point, slope. Let's use the point slope formula, right? So I'm going to use my y minus y1 equals my m times x minus x1, okay? My point's got an x1, y1, okay? So I'm going to use that formula, y minus y1, because I've got a point and a slope, all right? Now, put the 4 and the 5 in, so the 4 is going to go for the x, the 5 will go for the y, and the negative 2/3 goes in for the slope. So here we go, almost done. Y minus, y1 is 5, m is negative 2/3, x minus 4. Okay, so I plug the 4 in for the x, plug the 5 in for the y, and I put the negative 2/3 in for the m because I want perpendicular. Okay, that's all I did. Put the 4 in for the x1, the 5 in for the y1, and I put my negative 2/3 in for the m. Okay, so now I'm just going to simplify. That times that times that. So I have a y minus 5 equals negative 2/3 x plus, oh, that's going to be 8/3, which is what? 2 and 2/3, right? 8/3. So this is the same thing as 2 and 2/3. Okay. 8/3. You guys okay with 8/3? Which is 2 and 2/3. Plus 5. Almost done. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 7 and 2/3. Now, real quick, I'm going to graph both so you can see it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the original. I want you to see both. Okay. Here's the original line. Here is this line right there. Okay. And I want to show you the other. Here's our line that we just made. Let's see, 7 2/3 up here. It looks like this. Do they look perpendicular? Do those two lines look perpendicular? Does that look 90? Yeah. Okay, that is all I have